Hey guys, Cindy over paper.old.new. Thanks for coming by and spending some time with me. God bless you for being here. And we are going to work on fabric. I kind of was thinking about how I wanted to do this, and I don't know how many of them we're going to be able to make because it takes me a minute to get them done, but I want to show you. So remember these book page pockets. We went through these. This was part of our revisits with the Mass Makes. And I said I liked these book page pockets because I like stuff with Bookpage. I think Bookpage makes an awesome background for pockets. And I think it's, it's really great. So we made these book page pockets, these short ones. Okay. So I did this with fabric. So I attached the fabric to this. And then I stitched around it because this fabric wasn't sticking. I mean, it was stuck in the glue okay, but it wasn't sticking really well. And then I used, I'm pretty sure this is floral ribbon. It's that stiff starched ribbon that you usually find in flower shops and stuff like that. So I think that's floral ribbon. And I used a strip of it here. And I tucked some lace between the page and the ribbon to decorate this pocket. And then I glued it to the middle of this book page as its back. And I didn't cut it off for two reasons. One, I could make a pocket to go across the bottom of here, depending on what book I end up putting it in. You know me, guys. I like to leave myself options. I can leave the bottom of this to put a pocket across here. But more than likely the top will get cut off. I don't necessarily know that I would want a top unless I wanted to put some sort of a flap. Like if I wanted to put a flap up here and then have it fold down over the pocket, that would be my reasoning for leaving that tall, is so that I have plenty of room to put the flap and still be able to get into the pocket easily. Okay, so that was my thought, and I stuck it in the middle, and I said, okay, and then if neither of those things happen, I can chop it at either end, and I've got a nice little pocket like this, except it's fabric. And I found this in my lace drawer, and I was like, ooh, that would be really cute on there. So then I thought about it, and I was like, well, we did these, and I, decorated these with paper. And on these ones, I did this bottom panel, which is just a panel. There's nothing there. So this bottom panel and this top panel were done with scrapbook paper. The tuxedo ones I tried. They're a little harder. I'm not saying they couldn't be done. They probably could, and maybe we'll try again. But these pockets were, like I said, done with Bookpage. So I said, okay, well, let's try with fabric. Now, I did not sew this fabric because I feel like not everybody likes not everybody likes to use their sewing machine with paper and glue, which is fair because I put a lot of glue behind this and I didn't want to put my sewing machine through. I don't want to get my needle all gummed up because I'm afraid if I take my sewing machine apart to clean it, I'm never getting it back together. At least if I do get it back together, it won't work right. So you could stitch around these though. Now this is a pocket. So if I was going to stitch around this, I would have stitched around it before I glued it down. But I did a pocket here, and then I've got the book page showing, and then you've got a pocket here and a pocket here with a complementary fabric on this stripe. Okay, so this is what we're going to make. We're going to make one of these. I've pulled a couple of complementary fabrics that I like together. I think. Let me see if I can find some. Okay. I pulled some fabrics that I would like to put together to make these book page pockets. And I have some over here. For example, this is one I kind of started. So now none of these fabrics are see-through. And if you're going to take it to your sewing machine, one of my thoughts was you could use double-sided tape to stick the fabric down at first. Just don't stick the tape where you're going to sew, and it'll hold it down, and then you sew it and it'll, hold itself down. But of course, that's entirely up to you. Now, I have this, and I haven't thought about folding the fabric over into the pocket to like finish that edge, but I really like this. So we're going to keep that, and I'm going to glue this onto here. All right, I'm going to bring it down as far as I can and still make sure that all the book page gets covered. And this is my accent fabric. Okay, so we're going to glue this. I should get a fresh bottle of glue just so that it's not a pain. Also, just so you know, my fan, usually I turn my fan off when I'm doing glue projects because it has a tendency to, my glue ball was bubbled. It has a tendency to dry my glue fast. The Fabri-Tac, not so much. I worry about it more with my hot glue gun. My fan is on because our air conditioner died. Sometime in the wee hours of the morning on the 4th of July. It is still 4th of July weekend when I'm filming this, although it will be not this Monday, but the next Monday that you see it. So at that time, hopefully we will have an answer about our air conditioner. I don't even know if you can hear my fan. All right, so we're going to put that down on there. And then I am going to glue this down. This is Bookpage. It came out of a flower book that I had. The paper is kind of like thick magazine page. It's that feel, and it's got that shine to it, which is the other reason why I don't mind covering it up with fabric. And it's pretty sturdy, but it is also, these got dried out, so they don't have, the thing wouldn't stick, and I came in my room and found it open. I added some water to it and laid it upside down like that, but it has since given up the ghost, so to speak, and they're all dried out. Anyway, so yeah, I just kind of decided that this would be good paper for this because it's sturdy, but it's shiny. So it's one of those papers that, I don't know, I guess it's fine to use in books. I'm more leery about using the shiny stuff in the books. I want this to stick under the pocket. I just don't want anything. Did I miss? I missed. Did I not come all the way down here? I just don't want anything sticking up. And that's going to be inside the other pocket or inside the bottom pocket. So I don't care if the glue messes up the fabric or whatever. Like, you know how if you don't smoosh Fabri-Tac down, it comes through the fabric and discolors it and whatnot? Yeah, down inside the pocket, I don't care. You're not going to be able to see it, so. Okay, now we're going to trim this off here, and then we have this is basically the middle piece of our Bookpage pocket. Now, if I was going to sew it, I would wait till all the glue dried and I would go to my sewing machine and sew it now before I put the whole pocket together, because obviously if I want that to be a pocket, I can't glue everything together and then sew down that line. So the pieces would get sewn individually before I glue the whole thing together if I'm gonna do any stitching. And I'll have to wait and see. I don't know. I like the way it looks, and this is a nice dark fabric or darker fabric. And right now the red in my sewing machine is like a beige, so it shows up on that stuff really well. Okay, now for this, we're gonna cover this is the pocket that goes along the bottom. I want to try and get all the red flowers with as little of this as I can. Now, if I get some of that, it's okay with respect to the fact that I can always cover it with decoration. So, yeah. I think we're going to put it on like that. And I know I've got 2 bottles of this. Has got like some down here, just this bottom part of the bottle. So it's really hard for it to come out. And when it does come out, it doesn't spread very well because it's thicker. The more air that gets in the bottle, the more the glue kind of thickens up, I guess. It's starting to, for lack of a better word, it's starting to dry up because of all the air in the bottle. So it's not as fluid as a new bottle would be. So just for ease of making these, I decided I was going to open this bottle early. Because I usually wait until my bottles are totally empty before I go opening another one. But okay, we're going to do this. And actually, I just decided I'm going to put this a little high before my fan dries my glue out. Okay. And I do try to take my bone folder and just sort of gently, because it does pull the fabric. So I don't want to, oh, I didn't do it high enough. I was going to fold it over, but I didn't do it high enough. I guess I was afraid of going too high. Okay. So we're going to cut this out. I should probably get a pair of fabric scissors just so this doesn't take forever. Because these scissors are really dull. They're even dull sometimes when I'm trying to cut paper. So what I might do is we might do several pieces, look at what the pocket's going to look like. I might take some to my sewing machine when they dry, and then we can see what some look like sewn. Because the only thing I sewed on one of these when I was doing my demos was that one orange pocket of that scarf that doesn't lay down right. Oh, I'm going to cut this off. So I might stitch some of these. I've gotten to the point now that I'm a little bit better at using my sewing machine. I'm definitely not a master at it. I like the stitching. I like the way it looks. Okay. And then we can hold on to this. Might even hold on to those 2 little strips. You could tie them in something, like a knot at the top of a tag. Okay, so we're going to hold on to that. Okay, and this is going to be our pocket down here, right? So we have a pocket here, and then this will sit like that. Okay, so far so good. It's that needs adjusting. Okay, so far so good. So that's what our pocket looks like so far. So we have a pocket here and a pocket here, and then our last piece is this one. And what I basically do is I'm not going to be real finicky about trying to cut at an angle and all that. So what I do, and some of you may think this is a waste of fabric. There's a piece of me, I look at it in 2 different ways. I don't like it when things get caught, and I don't want the fabric to like have a weird edge somewhere that something can catch on. So basically, I'm going to cover this whole top above that pencil line, or within that pencil line. I'm going to cover it with fabric. So I need to cut the fabric about right there. You know what you can do with this? And make a little ruffle. Refer to previous video. Okay. And then we're going to just glue this. Now is when you need to decide if you want the top of your page to have trim like the one I did before. Because if you were going to put trim on it, you need to do it now. So the trim I used before was this. I'm going to be sad when this runs out because I think this is like a really nice little trim for things like this because it doesn't stick up high. Although, oh no, there's no orange in this. Never mind. Okay. It doesn't stick up high. It's a nice short trim. And it's got this nice wide spot to glue it down. So basically, I'm going to glue this on here. And of course, it doesn't have to be a trim that's meant to be sandwiched between things. You can stick anything you want in there. You can put lace in there, anything. Whatever you like sticking up out from the top of your page. It doesn't even have to be full trim. It could be like a tab, just a little piece, you know. Now, it should be flat. We'll say that. Because obviously, if you don't make it flat, you can't glue over it. All right, and then we're going to glue all the way down to this pencil mark. All the way across. I know. There's going to be a big chunk of this fabric that's underneath the pocket. But think of it this way. It lines your pocket. You don't have to worry about anything being caught because you have it going from page to fabric or, whatever. And I don't know. This makes me feel better about it. So this is what I do. So we're just going to smush all the glue down so it doesn't come oozing through my fabric. I am leaning more toward doing a bunch of pieces and then letting them dry and then bringing you back for how they look sewn, and then maybe we can decorate. Okay, so that's the top of my pocket. Okay, I don't even know why I'm going to cut that because I think I trim both sides. Yeah. So I've got fabric to trim off of both sides. Again, I didn't come down far enough, so we're going to do a bead of glue right across here. I don't want anything popping up under pockets or anything like that. So I just want to make sure everything sticks. I also don't want glue inside my pocket because I obviously don't want my pocket. Although if I'm going to sew them together, it doesn't really matter. Now what I do is I don't necessarily sew my pocket together. Normally what I do is I sew around all of the relevant pieces. So I'll sew here. I'll probably sew here just to keep the continuity. I will sew here, and I'll sew around this little guy, and then the whole thing will get glued together. But when it's done, it should look something like this. So we would put this one here, okay, and I try to line up all the corners. All these pages are cut to be the same size. Okay, they're out of the same book, so all I did was just trim them all the same. Okay, and then this one goes on here. Okay, and then our pocket. And there you go. That's what the pocket will look like. Are they not adorable? I mean, this is a great way to use fabric. And I never really even thought, I thought about covering them with napkin and I thought about covering them with scrapbook paper. This never even occurred to me until I was sitting here thinking, what all could I do with fabric? And I think I was flipping through and somebody said fabric backgrounds on pages. And I went, ding, 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 ding. It was a headline on a video. I don't even think I watched the video. And I don't know who it was. But I apologize. Credit to you, whoever you are, because you set off a whole bunch of little alarm bells in my head, just seeing your title. So kudos to you. Anyway, so this is one of them. I'm going to set the pieces off to dry. Oh, we are going to glue this down. I do want the book page to be glued down. I will say this. I'm not even mad. Odd turn of phrase, I know. That there's all of this open white space. And the reason for that is because I can use that to, I put too much glue on here. This is going to be a mess. But I want to stitch there, so I want to get as much of it out. Look at that. Can you see that? That's a mess. It leaves me a spot to decorate. So like when I go to put this in a book, maybe I've got some, oh yeah. That's the drawback to your glue being more liquidy. It comes out faster. because I don't have mine in a Sugar Bell bottle, and the opening in the Fabri-Tac bottle that's naturally there is much bigger than the little icing tip. But anyway, okay, enough of that. Okay, so that pocket is ready to be sewn and glued together. Let's do another one. Okay, so I have a pocket piece for the front, and I have 1, 2, 3 book pages. Now these all have words. This has a picture of, I think this is building a rose. So I don't know. I don't know anything about gardening or growing roses. So this is going to be the back of the page that I glue everything to. So that's going to be my back page. All right, let's look at all the fabrics I brought. Okay, this one. Now this one is kind of hard because I feel like I have several fabrics that go together here because I would love to combine all of this. So I have to figure out how I want to combine it. And what I'm thinking is I put this on the back page and then stack it like it would be a sunflower. So this would be my accent stripe and this would be my pocket at the bottom. Yeah, so it would be like this with this up here and this along there. I think that would be cute. Okay, we're going to do it. So this one's going to have 3 different kinds of fabric. You ready? Let's go. Okay, now how I make the pages. So the first one gets folded all the way to its edge. I guess we didn't really do this. My other ones were already folded. I just try to get this as straight as I can, folded right along that edge. Okay? And it's going to stay to the outside of the book. So, I mean, as a matter of fact, I know I'm not covering it or doing anything with it. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down because I know I need that has to happen. So, or at least in my little world of pockets right now, it has to happen. Depending on what you're going to do with this pocket, like if it's going to be, say it's going to be a page in your book that, look at that little piece of this. I could do like that and stick a little piece of lace out the side, depending on what I'm going to do with the pocket. I'm not going to do that on here. But I just wanted to, so you could tuck something under there to stick out, a tab, a piece of lace, something like that. And then if this is going to be a page in your book, glued down, that would stick out of the book. Okay, now the next page, you want it to be the same angle, but not the same size because you want it to have an extra stripe. Now basically, since I folded this parallel with the edge, I basically just eyeball this and try and make it so that this line and this line line up. Sorry, am I doing that where you can't see my lines on top of the book page that they match? So I'm trying to get this page edge and this page edge to kind of line up as best I can. And then this will tell you how wide your stripe is going to be, okay? So like when I set this on here, that'll give you an idea of how wide your stripe is going to be because when I put this on here, this comes right to this corner. So you have this much space. That's how wide your stripe is going to be. All right, so if I put it out here, I'm going to have a really wide stripe. If I tuck it all the way back here, I'm going to have a really narrow stripe. All right? Just depends on how close together you want your pockets or how big of a stripe of decoration you want on the outside of the pocket. Okay, now because I want this to go the other way, as I'm covering it, I'm going to fold that the other way and I'm going to glue it down. Gluing the page, gluing the triangle down reinforces your pocket. Put this down. It just reinforces this edge, so that's doubled up. Okay. The other thing you can use to make sure that you're, and I didn't because you can't see the word there, but you can see the whole word there, which means this isn't lined up right. You can use lines of text to make sure that you're folding in a line. It's not too bad. I mean, it doesn't look too awful. Okay, so now here we go. Let's get a piece for, is this long enough? Look at that. It is long enough. And I think this time I'm going to try and remember to fold it over. Okay, so we're just going to cut this piece off right along this fold. You know, I went through all the trouble to get scissors specifically for fabric. But when I'm sitting here at my desk and I'm crafting, I just grab whatever's to hand. So these scissors cut everything. I know that's not supposed to be how you do it, but now if I do pull my fabric scissors down, they don't cut anything but fabric. I am good about that. Okay, so what we're going to do here, I'm going to glue this. It does need to go, just so that it dips into the pocket, it does need to go a little past that corner, because that's where your pocket sits, is right on that corner. So I'm going to bring it down a little past that corner, but I want enough to fold over at the top. Okay, so when I put this down, I want the yellow down inside the pocket. That way I know no blank book page is showing. Okay. Okay. Now I might just make these two on camera so you have an idea of how I do this. And then I'll make the other one, because I have a book page cut for one more. I'll make the other one and then sew all of them at once. Okay, now this I'm going to fold down into my pocket. I think it'll make a nice finished edge on my the edge of my pocket. It's the only reason I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for any like reinforcement purposes or anything like that. I'm just doing it because I wanted to get that look of a finished edge on this pocket edge thing. Whatever. All right, let's wipe this glue off of here. Okay, and then that sort of curves around. And I think that finishes that off nicely. Okay. All right. Of course, that means my sewing machine is going to have to go through 2 pieces of paper and 2 pieces of fabric and glue. So that could be fun. So that's that page. This page, the back page. So the back page is going to get the sunflowers, and we're going to put them right up to here. Okay. Now this is just Dollar Tree fabric. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to tell you guys. I'm using very thin fabric for this. This is not like thick, heavy, like not upholstery fabric, not those denim heavy fabrics. You know, it's none of that stuff. I lost my line. There it is. This is Dollar Tree fabric. So I don't necessarily have to use the expensive stuff on this. Not to mention the fact that I think this works better. It's less bulky. The place I might use the upholstery fabric, if I had an upholstery fabric that I really liked with one of these, I might use it for the pocket at the bottom. Okay. I might be able to, I'm looking at the time, I might be able to do the last one on camera with you. Maybe we can look at doing a tuxedo one out of that one. I'm not real sure how to, I mean, I guess the best bet is to put fabric on the back like this. My issue was I don't know where to put the other piece, like the third piece. I almost think I should have done this combination on a tuxedo pocket. That probably would have been a better fit. I'm trying to get this torn edge on the edge of this pocket where I don't want to cut it off. But I think I went too far out. I did. Darn it. I don't think I can Oh, wait, it's not stuck yet. I want to keep that tattered edge on that side of the pocket. You have to be careful when you're doing the bone folder thing because it'll catch in the fabric and then pull it and then put a wrinkle in it on the glue. Okay. Oh, I even did good up there. Okay. This side doesn't have to have it, but, and then of course the stitches will help hold it down. And then this goes over top of that. It's not the exact same yellow, but it's nice and bright and cheery. I love that. I love it. Okay. So, and then this, like that. So that's that. Done with this. Not done. I might do another one with this, but okay. And now we're going to do our pocket with this. Okay. What I think I'm going to do, lay it on here like this. We'll just try and get it at the top. If I can just get it at the top, I'll be happy. Okay. We're going to glue it down. And we'll have this one done. I need to stop touching things. Everything just sticks. I can feel the heat. So we've got I can feel my room getting warm because of the day. Okay. So, probably be easier if I flipped it over and stuck it on the fabric rather than trying to guess. But that hit pretty good. I get a blob of glue under there anyway. I don't know, there was some sort of knot in the fabric itself. Okay. All right. They do take a little bit of time to cover all the layers, but I think that they are worth the effort. I think they would add, I think they'll add really nice texture, something a little bit different to your page. I know that some people put pockets on things, like they would just put the fabric down there and you just tuck stuff behind the fabric. I like the sturdiness of putting the fabric on the paper. It makes things, it makes it easier to get things in and out. I feel like fabric is loose, so even if it's on there really good, you stick stuff in there and it gets caught. Now, granted, stuff gets caught on the pockets that we make all the time, but you know that's beside the point. Shh, don't tell anybody. Okay, that's a ruffle piece. This is done. All right, and we have that one ready to be sewn. Okay, now, all right, we're going to try this as a tuxedo pocket. So I have my 3 pieces. This will be my back. I wonder, I kind of want to do this one. Just because, if I'm honest, I want to use this up. I think it's the only piece I have left, and it is driving me crazy. Is it wide enough? Yeah, okay. It needs, if you're going to do a tuxedo pocket, it needs to go the whole width, because you're only going to the corners right here with your pockets. So you need to make sure that it does the whole width of the thing. We're going to go about halfway down. Because I do still want some for a bottom pocket. I'm picturing this in my head and I think it's going to be fine. This fabric is very thin. And I think it's going to be one of those fabrics that when you are, as you're looking at it, I notice this glue is like discoloring this paper. As you're looking at this fabric, you're going to be able to see through it, which is why I'm glad this is like a gardening flower book and not some sort of I want the fringe at the top. Might move it down just ever so slightly. Okay, and the fringe at the top is not even, can I just say? So it's like real fringy over there and then it tapers down. I'm okay with that. It's going to be kind of a... No, you can't really see through it. I mean, I guess the design kind of blocks everything. Now, I'm going to cut this because I want the bottom part of this. And we're going to glue this cut edge down. All right, so I'm going to get all the pieces for this one done, and then I'm going to take a break, let everything dry. For me, it'll be a break. For you, it'll be a second. I'll just splice you right back in. So there is that part. Now, this is going to cover this piece. We're going to trim this. I guess you don't really have to. I'm going to cover it with fabric. Okay. I'm trying to kind of flatten it back out. That's where it was sewn in. Okay. And then I think we'll try and get the fringe on the top of this pocket. This is just wide enough, guys. So, I mean, once you kind of get a rhythm and you kind of know, and you've got, the other thing is getting your pieces cut. So if you get a bunch of pieces cut to make these pockets ahead of time, then you pull the pieces that you know you want to cover, you fold the pieces you know you want to fold, you glue the spots you know you want to glue, and then you either stitch them or don't. You either put your pocket together with glue, or you put it together with a sewing machine, or both, or however you're going to do it, and then, you know, it goes together quick once you've got all the pieces ready. Is I guess what I'm trying to say. Okay, that's going to be our pocket. Oh, I guess I can cut this off. And look, guys, I have another piece for a nice thin little ruffle. And I will, if you look back at my ruffle video, you'll know my favorite ruffle is the one that I send through my sewing machine and pull. I will stick that strip. Well, that's kind of cattywampus. I might not stick that strip. I was saying I would stick a strip that small through my sewing machine to make a little ruffle. Those little ruffles, I don't worry about whether or not the fabric is visible on the other side, because mostly because they end up on cards as like tabs or something like that. Okay, this one is, oh, maybe this was the problem I had before. Okay, so we're going to fold this one, what do I do? This one this way. Yeah? Is this right? I hope. This might have been my problem before, is I had too many of these pages that were like blank-ish. Okay, and we'll cover this one with fabric, and it'll be on the bottom. Okay, and then we'll do this one. Oh, do it this way so that I actually have printing. And we'll cover this one. I mean, we'll leave this one, and it will be on top, just like our other pockets have been, except our accent piece will be the other triangle. I think this will work out okay. These are going to sit like this, which means I have to cover to at least there. Well, I have to cover just below there. Okay, now, this is the fabric I've chosen. I like the purple with it. All right, and basically what I think I'll do is get a square that will fit here. I'm trying to decide whether or not these flowers are directional, and I think they go in multiple directions. So I don't think it matters. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a square of fabric right there, like that, to cover the part I need covered. At that point, should I just cover the whole triangle? I mean, am I really saving anything? Okay, we're going to glue this down. You just need to make sure with your tuxedo pockets that you fold them opposite. So you need one that goes one way and one that goes the other, so that you can crisscross them. Now I think if you fold this way, you can always turn it over and get that. But if you want the flap on the outside, I don't know. Just, you need them to go in opposite directions triangle-wise. No, I'm doing a lot of talking and not a lot of saying anything. All right, now we're going to glue all over this. And I have to do the top. This is going to show. So this has to be smushed. The rest of it I don't really care about, but I'm going to do it since I'm in here. Okay, and then we're going to put this down. Now, I'm thinking that I might keep that pink edge out here. Now, my only problem with fabric like this is it stripes, so it's going to look funny if it's not on there straight. And I am, oh, darn it, I did it not straight. I am going to take, I'm going to leave, I know I said these were dull. If you hit these blades in the right place, they'll cut. But you can only go about halfway up the blade. If you go any further than that, or you stay back any further than that, it doesn't work. All right, so we're going to cut this off here. And we're going to cut this off here. And we're going to fold this down here. Okay, I'm going to spread this because I think it actually works better for fabric. My problem is I with my fan going, again, it quick dries it once I thin it out like that. Oh, I didn't need to go all the way to the end. That's okay. Okay. Did I get rid of my no, there? Mop that. Mop that. This isn't really mopping. I feel like you mop PVA glue. This you kind of wrestle it into submission. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to cut that off. It's too I suppose I could have used pinking shears to do it. I didn't really think about it, so that's gonna go on there like that. And then our book page will go on here like this. And then our pocket will go on here like this. There you have it. Okay, so formula mastered. It's basically the same formula as the other one, except for instead of the striped fabric going along this way, it's the triangle going there. And I managed to eliminate all of the roses. See how I did that? I have a little bit of a stem here and a little bit of a stem here and no flowers. It's okay, I guess I'll decorate it or something. I don't know. Okay, so these are going to sit and dry. I'm going to sew the pieces, and then I'll come back to you and we'll take a look at them, and I'll let you go because this took a while, and yeah. So I'll see you guys in just a sec. All right, guys, I'm back. So as you can see, we've done some stitching. Here's our pocket pieces. So we're going to glue all these together, and then we might decorate one. Make sure we have all the right pieces with the right pockets. Okay, so basically, how we do this is this piece and all of its strengths. I did not cut the threads. I'm always like right before I glue, that's when I cut, because I'm always worried that the stitches are going to come out. I don't backstitch paper. I just don't want to put that many holes in the paper. Okay, so we get that all taken care of. And then we're going to glue on the back side down the edges. I love these pockets. I think these are great. I'm actually keeping some of the fabric out now that we figured out the tuxedo one on camera, which it wasn't really that complicated. I feel like I was overcomplicating it. I also was trying to use a couple of pieces of paper that didn't have any writing on them. So I had some blank book page because I won't use this shiny book page to back cards. So I had some blank book page from this book, and I was like, oh, I can make pockets with this. Well, it didn't look right having the blank triangles with nothing on them. But once I had a piece with words on it, it looked fine. So all I needed to do was get, book page. So I'm down a paper towel again, guys. I keep losing them. They keep escaping me. If I happen to reach in far enough for you to notice a different t-shirt, it is a different day. My husband did have the air conditioning people out, and it was such an easy fix. It was easy. It was much less expensive than we thought it was going to be. All I can say is God is good, guys. I can't tell you how hard I prayed from the time he told me it was out and what the possibilities were. And then when he came and told me what the guy told us was wrong with it, I was getting ready to record, and before I started recording, I dropped down on my knees and said some more prayers, this time thanking God that it was not like a horrible, horrible fix. And I'm saying that now at the end of this video because I think the beginning of this video is when I said something to you about the air conditioner, and now it's the next day. And we weren't going to have the guys come out till Tuesday, but my husband figured I'll call and see, at least if he could set up the appointment, because that's what he honestly expected he was going to be doing, was setting up an appointment for later in the week. And the guy was like, no, I can come out. Okay. And when he did, he goes, oh, yeah, it's just this. We had a couple of these happen during the storm. It'll be a quick fix. And that was it. I mean, I was relieved and amazed all at once. Okay. And this one's on fabric, so I wasn't thinking that it would be a big deal. But on paper, I don't know. Okay, I got my masking tape. And I'm thinking I'm going to put a piece across the top of this pocket. This is the stickiest masking tape I have ever owned. Okay, just to cover up the threads, because those threads are not going to get glued. And I happen to have started, I think, and finished up here in this corner. So since they're not going to get glued, and I don't want any papers to catch on the threads going down into the pocket, I'm going to put masking tape on there. And we're going to trim it off, and then we're going to glue this pocket down, and this one will be done. I should have done the masking tape thing before I came on. All of them are going to have masking tape. Masking tape, I actually use quite a bit of masking tape in my journal making because I use it to, I use it for this kind of thing, to cover up stuff so that things don't catch. I also use it to do like step downs. If you've got something underneath, like the edge of a piece of paper that might, if I've got this and something might catch on there going down into a pocket, I'll put masking tape on that. I use it for all kinds of stuff. But anyway. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in the first half of this video, which was why I wanted to say something. But earlier today, since it is a different day, I filmed another video that you're going to see later down the road, and I mention it again. Just because I did it today and the air conditioning people came today, so it was on my mind when I filmed that video. So I did say something in that one too. So if you hear it again in a few days or next week or something like that. Okay, so excess glue notwithstanding, and I'm hoping when I do that, I always hope that most of it comes out rather than pushes in, but you never know. All right, and then that is a great pocket. Look at that. I love these with the fabric on them. I thought I liked this book page pocket before, but with the fabric on it, I love it. I mean, this is, so I've got a pocket here, I've got a pocket here, and I've got a pocket here. And then, of course, if you glue this into your book, you can make it a full page side pocket or a top-down pocket. So this is like a 1, 2, 3. This is a quadruple pocket of these. Now, of course, you got to have big stuff to go in them because they're full page, and I feel weird not putting lots of stuff in those. Okay, now we're going to do this one. This one is, no, I didn't glue this down. So let's do that quick. I didn't want to add too much to this video. This video was already long. Putting the fabric onto the fronts. So I don't want to go too long. But I just wanted to go through this with you, and we'll glue them together, and I had a thought for a decoration, at least a little bit of decorating on one of them, so we'll try and do that. And yeah, all right. So again, this is the tuxedo one we figured out. So down along here, and then I don't backstitch, so there's my glue to hold my stitches in. Ooh, that's not going to get glued. Oh, I have to hope that it. Hope and pray. Wing and a prayer, guys. Wing and a prayer. Okay. Okay. I think that's all there, right? Okay. And we just push down. And it's up to you. Some of these strings, I mean, some people like to leave them on there. It's also up to you if, like, this fringe is hanging over. Once I get everything glued down, I might leave all that fringe just sticking off of there. If I decide to put it in a project and I don't want that fringe on there, I can always cut it off later. Of course, there's always the golden rule of once you cut it off, you can't exactly put it back on. So I always like to err on the side of what if I wanted it. That's my go-to. I err on that side. Oh no. Okay. Now we have to do. All right. Let me just pull these out of here. I'll be right back with you. This is going to. I don't want to cut them off because then it's going to look like a funny bald spot at the top of the pocket. That much will have to get cut off. I can't get them off of there. Although I will say this has sporadic. Its little puffs and things are rather sporadic. Oh wait, I can't put that down yet. Well, it's got its masking tape on it anyway. All right. I'm also going to have a surprise tucked in here this week because I have to share something with you guys. Some of you will recognize it, but others of you might not. And I'm so excited. So stay tuned for that. I'm not giving you any more hints. You just have to stay tuned. Actually, I will say this. You'll know it when you see it because it will be the first I've ever done. So keep that in mind. You should be able to pick up on it when it happens. Okay. Look up there. Down here along the sides. And there's that one. I just can't explain to you or express to you how much I love the way these look. I do. And now that I've gotten back into using my sewing machine again, I'm also really glad that my air conditioner got back on because of that. Because where my sewing machine is, if they hadn't been able to fix our air conditioner for a while, I was going to have to put my sewing machine in storage, so to speak, because that's where like a room air conditioner was going to sit, as where my sewing machine is, because it's the only place I have in my room to put one. Okay, so that's that one. We have a couple more. Got that one done. Let's do this one. Just going to try and get this done quick. I actually didn't want this end part to take long. I should have just put most of them together and just shown you how one or two of them, like one, the tuxedo one and one of these, just to show you how it went together in case, you know, for those of you who have never put one of these together. So if you're watching me, and I haven't said anything about the pieces I'm piecing together. So this first piece that goes down, so you have your back piece that's flat, right? The next piece that goes down is the one you folded that you didn't fold all the way to the side. So we folded one of the pages all the way to the side, and then we folded one of the pages with a space. Okay, the one with the space is the one you put down first, right? So that it sticks out. And then you put your book page one down on top of that, and then you've got the double pockets with the accent strip in our case. And I will say, even if you're not making these with fabric, because like I said, I showed you in the beginning of the video a bunch of them that I had that are made out of paper. It is much easier to decorate the pieces. I mean, this is probably like not rocket science to any of you, but it's much easier to decorate the pieces, especially this middle pocket piece, before you put the pocket together. So if you can decide what you want on all your layers, decorate your layers, and then put your pocket together, it's so much easier. It goes together so much better. I know I've got all these strings. I'll cut them later. I'm not worried about it right now. Okay, and then this one I put a piece of ribbon across the top, which I did not cut off over here. And I only stitched across the top of the ribbon. Oh, and down the sides when I stitched down the side. So this sticks up a little bit, but I mean, it might get stuck down if I, decorate this pocket with something. So I'm not worried about that. I'm also worried about it if I don't decorate the top of the pocket. It's not, and if it doesn't get stuck down, I don't know, maybe it's a tight enough piece that you can tuck up little, it could hold something. You might be able to, tuck something up under there and it will catch and hold. I don't know. It might not because it sticks up off the page a little bit, but depends on what you stuck up there, I suppose. Let's clip this. I was not expecting this video to take this long. But again, it is a lot of like layered piecing, kind of. But man, is it worth it. Look at that. I mean, that's just, I love that. Okay, and so pocket, pocket, pocket. I don't know if you could tuck something under there or not. Maybe a booklet because it's thick. And I suppose you could tuck anything under there if you put a clip on there. Okay, this is our last one. Okay, so remember, I'm gonna clip these. Fold short of the side, not all the way over, fold first. I don't know what to call it. Can you tell? I don't necessarily know that it has a name, but you get the idea. The one where you didn't fold the corner down all the way to the edge of the page. That goes down first. The other reason I just wanted to say that is because sometimes until the pieces are put together, some people can visualize stuff and some people can't. It's just some people can and some people can't. So I like to say, hey, it's the piece with where you folded, but you folded your triangle, but you didn't fold it all the way over to this edge, so you have a little gap here, and that's the piece you put down first. Because if I say, well, it's the one that sticks up the furthest so that you have a layered pocket, that might not be something that you picture in your head real well. So I just want to make sure that, you know, everybody gets what we're trying to achieve here. I think my dog is sleeping under my bed behind me, and she keeps smacking the floor every once in a while with her tail. I think she's dreaming. And then she'll snuffle. It's funny. I can hear her back there. She's making all kind of noise. I had a decoration idea for this, but I think my hot glue gun is still charging from when I plugged it in earlier today, and I don't know if it's ready, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the decorating, but I can kind of give you an idea. One last piece of masking tape and one last pocket. Oh, that's not anywhere near long enough. What was I thinking? Over here where threads are first. I think I really wanted to layer up, but here we are. Okay. All right. Don't want it to curve up so that I've got a lip in there. I can't say enough about these pockets. I'm so glad we did these as a fabric project. I can't wait to see what other things we do as fabric projects. I do want to sew some yo-yos. And anybody who hasn't ever done it, because I've only done it twice. So they were part of the Tina's Mass Make thing that I did, the 100-day challenge. So when I saw they were coming up, I watched the video. I did some practice yo-yos. And then I came on the video, which was blurry. And I don't know why I did that. And I sewed some yo-yos on. Those were my 2 times that I've ever sewn my own yo-yos. So, yeah. We might try it again, guys. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Try to keep those loops intact. This is the thing about masking tape. Okay, so this is the last pocket. Now, I might find something to decorate this part up with. If I decorate this, I normally decorate this part with something flat that won't interfere with my pocket unless it's way up here in this corner. And anything I put up here in this corner, I want it to be stiff enough that if it overhangs this lip, something can get tucked behind it without interference. Okay, my idea for decorating down here, and the reason I need my glue gun, is because I was going to stick this flower, which reminds me of all these red flowers that are all over this, to this, and stick this in the middle of it, and then put a big old button in there. You know me and my buttons, guys. Love buttons. Maybe even a red button, like alternating the colors, although an orange button would be better, because a lot of these red flowers have orange buttons in the middle. My problem is I think all my orange buttons are stalks. I might could do that. That might be a little bit too big. Might need something smaller. But you get the, my hot glue gun's not ready, guys, so I can't glue it down. But that would be a cute decoration on that pocket. What do you think? I like it. I don't have an orange button. I think I have a thing of plastic buttons downstairs that I haven't gone through that are bright colors that I'm probably going to go get to use for some of these projects I've been doing lately with the fabric, because the fabric colors I've been using are bright and I need some brighter buttons. But anyway, so this was fabric pockets, guys. So pull out your fabric scraps and remember that you can cover just about any piece of paper with them. And I think this is a fun project. I think these will add nice texture to your book. And remember, you can use lace. You can use any of your fabric trims. You can, just go to town and make yourself some really nice big fabric pockets, because I think you'll enjoy them. I think that, these are a great addition to any journal. And depending on how you do them, like I said, guys, quadruple pocket. You got a pocket here, pocket here, pocket here, and then you glue it down. Pocket. So have fun with these. Get out fabric. You can use scraps if you've got big enough scraps, and just make yourself some pockets and have fun with it. And I'll talk to you guys later. If you stuck with me through this whole video, because I know it's going to be a long one, God bless, and bye-bye.